In 2015, the neon-lit worlds of Destiny and Fallout 4 were a haven for gamers like Ethan Caldwell, a teen whose PlayStation 4 was his escape from a fractured home. But when a mysterious player named Shade Cipher joined his online crew, the lines between virtual battles and real-world terror began to blur. What started as epic raids turned into a chilling game of cat and mouse, with Ethan's every move watched by a shadow who knew too much. Dive into this true crime tale of obsession and betrayal in the digital age, and if it grips you, hit that like, share it with your fire team, and follow for more stories that haunt the edges of the gaming world. The year was 2015, and the digital pulse of Columbus, Ohio, thrummed with the electric excitement of the gaming world. It was the era of Destiny's rise. The Witcher, 3-challenge sprawling open world in the relentless hype of Fallout 4 shelling. Teenagers and young adults alike were glued to their screens, their lives interwoven with the vibrant, ever-expanding universes of online gaming. For 18-year-old Ethan Caldwell, a lanky high school senior with a mop of dark hair and a quiet intensity, gaming wasn't just a pastime, it was a refuge. His bedroom, a cluttered sanctuary in a modest suburban split level, was a testament to his obsession. Walls plastered with Mass Effect. Posters, a shelf sagging under the weight of Game Informer issues, and a glowing PlayStation 4 that purred softly, its blue light casting an otherworldly glow across his desk. The faint hum of the console was Ethan's lullaby, drowning out the muffled arguments of his parents downstairs. Ethan's world revolved around his online crew, a tight-knit group known as the Nebula Syndicate. They'd met in 2014 through Destiny's cooperative strikes, their friendship solidified in the crucible of late-night raids and heated debates over loot drops. The syndicate consisted of 4 members, each a distinct voice in the cacophony of their Discord server. There was Mia Torres, a 17-year-old from Akron with the gamertag Star Vapor, a sharpshooter whose quick wit was as deadly as her in-game sniper rifle. Lucas Hayes, a 19-year-old community college student from Dayton, went by Iron Wraith, his analytical mind always plotting their next strategy. Priya Sharma, an 18-year-old from Cincinnati, was Void Wisp, a reserved but fiercely intelligent player whose knack for stealth turned impossible missions into triumphs. And then there was Ethan, Nexus Drift, the unofficial leader whose charisma and relentless optimism held the group together. The Nebula Syndicate wasn't just a fire team. They were Ethan's anchor in a sea of uncertainty. His parents' marriage was crumbling, his father's late shifts at the factory clashing with his mother's frustration as a nurse working doubles. School was a blur of AP classes and college applications, each one a reminder of the future he wasn't sure he wanted. But in the digital realms of Destiny and Borderlands 2, Ethan was unstoppable, a guardian of the traveler or a vault hunter carving his legend. The Syndicate shared more than just gaming sessions. They traded snippets of their lives through headsets and text channels. Mia vented about her overbearing parents, who saw her gaming as a waste of time. Lucas dreamed aloud of coding his own indie game. Priya, an aspiring astrophysicist, would ramble about exoplanets until someone gently nudged her back to the mission. Ethan, in rare, vulnerable moments, admitted his fear of being trapped in Columbus, doomed to a life as gray as the Ohio winter. It was October 2015 when a new player drifted into their orbit. His gamertag was Shade Cipher, and he joined their Destiny fire team during a late-night King's Fall raid. His avatar, a sleek hunter cloaked in dark, shimmering armor, moved with a grace that bordered on uncanny. His voice, low and deliberate with a faint Ohio twang, crackled through their headsets. "Nice teamwork," he said after a flawless encounter, his tone warm but measured. Mind if I stick around? Shade Cipher was a phenomenon. His aim was surgical. His knowledge of game mechanics encyclopedic. He navigated Oryx's dreadnought with the ease of a veteran, calling out strategies that even Lucas, the group's tactician, hadn't considered. "Where'd you get so good?" Priya asked, her curiosity tinged with suspicion. "Been playing since the beta," Shade Cipher replied smoothly. "Plus, I've got a lot of time on my hands." The Syndicate was wary at first. New players could disrupt their chemistry, and Shade Cipher's skill made them feel like novices. But he was disarming, quick with a self-deprecating joke or a compliment on Mia's headshots. He'd share rare loot without hesitation, dropping legendary engrams like they were candy. Over the next few weeks, he became a fixture, joining their nightly sessions and slipping into their Discord banter with ease. He was vague about his personal life, mentioning only that he was local and between jobs. Ethan, ever trusting, didn't press. To him, Shade Cipher was just another gamer, a kindred spirit in the neon-lit expanse of their virtual world. The first hint of something amiss came in early November. The Syndicate was grinding through a Destiny nightfall strike, their headsets alive with chatter. Ethan, distracted by a text from his mom about missing curfew, mentioned he'd be at the local GameStop the next day for a Fallout 4 midnight release. "Gonna camp out with some friends," he said, half laughing. "Hope it's worth the cold." "GameStop on Morse Road?" Shade Cipher asked, his tone casual. Ethan froze, his controller nearly slipping from his hands. Yeah. How'd you know?" "Lucky guess," Shade Cipher said, a chuckle in his voice. "That's the big one around here, right?" Ethan nodded to himself, brushing it off. Columbus wasn't that big. It wasn't weird for someone to assume the Morse Road GameStop. But Priya messaged him privately on Discord later that night. "That was kind of specific. Be careful, okay?" The unease lingered, a faint static in Ethan's mind. Shade Cipher's comments grew more pointed over the next few weeks. He'd mentioned seeing a guy like Ethan at the mall or remark on the weather in Columbus with eerie accuracy, as if he were standing outside Ethan's window during a rainstorm. Mia, ever the skeptic, confronted him during a session. "You live in Columbus or what? You keep dropping these hints." "Close enough," Shade Cipher said, his voice light but evasive. "Just like knowing who I'm playing with." Lucas, who'd been quiet, spoke up. "Dude, if you're local, let's meet up. Grab some wings. Make it real." Shade Cipher laughed, but it was hollow. "Maybe someday. I'm not big on crowds." The Syndicate tried to shrug it off, but the dynamic shifted. Shade Cipher's presence, once a thrill, now felt like a shadow, creeping into their safe space. Ethan, desperate to preserve the group's harmony, downplayed his concerns. But then the gifts started arriving. It began with a small package left on Ethan's doorstep, wrapped in plain brown paper. Inside was a Destiny Ghost replica, its glowing blue eye eerily lifelike. A note, scrawled in jagged handwriting, read, "For Nexus Drift, keep shining." Ethan's stomach churned. He hadn't shared his address with anyone online, not even the Syndicate. His parents, exhausted from work, dismissed it as a prank, but Ethan's unease deepened. He brought it up in Discord, expecting the others to be as rattled as he was. "Dude, that's creepy," Mia said, her voice sharp. "You sure you didn't give out your address?" "Positive," Ethan replied. "I don't even post on social media." Priya suggested they confront Shade Cipher, but Lucas hesitated. "What if it's not him? We don't know who else he's talked to online." That night, Ethan logged into Destiny alone, his heart pounding as he saw Shade Cipher's name in the roster. "Hey," Ethan typed in the fireteam chat. "Did you send me something? A ghost model?" Shade Cipher's response was instant. "You got it? Thought you'd like it." Just a little gift for the team leader. Ethan's fingers hovered over the keyboard. How'd you know where I live? Relax, man, Shade Cipher typed, adding a winking emoji. I've got my ways. You're not hard to find. Ethan logged off, his hands shaking. He told the Syndicate everything, and they agreed to block Shade Cipher from their Discord and in-game friends list. But the messages didn't stop. Shade Cipher created new accounts. Dusk, Cipher, Gloom, Pulse. Each one sending private messages to Ethan. You can't hide, Nexus. We're closer than you think. The Syndicate reported the accounts, but new ones kept popping up. Each message more insistent, more personal. By December, Ethan was a wreck. He'd stopped sleeping, his grades slipping as he obsessively checked his windows and locked his doors. The Syndicate rallied around him, their gaming sessions now secondary to strategizing how to protect him. Mia suggested contacting the police, but Ethan hesitated. What could they do about anonymous messages and a single package? Priya, ever analytical, started digging into Shade Cipher's digital footprint, cross-referencing his gamer tags with forums and social media. Lucas proposed a trap. Lure Shade Cipher into revealing himself by pretending to organize an in-person meetup. The plan was simple, but risky. Ethan would post in a public Destiny forum, announcing a local meetup for Columbus players at a nearby Dave & Buster's. The Syndicate would be there, watching for anyone suspicious. They'd record everything, hoping to catch Shade Cipher in the act. Ethan's nerves were frayed, but the thought of taking control pushed him forward. Let's end this, he told the others, his voice steady for the first time in weeks. The meetup was set for a snowy Saturday in January 2016. Dave & Buster's was packed, the air thick with the scent of fried food and the clamor of arcade machines. Ethan sat at a high-top table, his hoodie pulled low, while Mia, Lucas, and Priya spread out across the restaurant, their phones ready to record. The Syndicate had invited Shade Cipher through one of his burner accounts, and he'd responded with a cryptic, "Might swing by, look for the hunter in black." Hours passed, the crowd a blur of gamers and families. Ethan's hope waned. Maybe Shade Cipher had called their bluff. Then, at 9 p.m., a figure appeared at the entrance. He was tall, mid-20s, with a gaunt face and dark eyes that scanned the room. He wore a black hoodie with a Destiny Hunter emblem stitched on the sleeve. Ethan's breath caught as the man's gaze locked onto him. He started walking toward the table, his movements deliberate, a faint smile curling his lips. Mia was the first to react, slipping through the crowd to intercept. "Hey, you here for the meetup?" she asked, her voice loud enough to draw attention. The man stopped, his smile fading. "Just looking around," he said, his voice a dead ringer for Shade Ciphers. Before Mia could press further, he turned and bolted for the exit, shoving past a group of kids. Lucas and Priya gave chase, but the man vanished into the snowy parking lot, his figure swallowed by the storm. The Syndicate regrouped, shaken but determined. They'd recorded the encounter, and Priya had snapped a clear photo of the man's face. Ethan took the evidence to the police the next day, his parents finally grasping the gravity of the situation. The investigation was slow. Digital stalking was a murky area in 2015, but the photo was a breakthrough. After weeks of cross-referencing, the police identified the man as Nathan Keller, a 26-year-old former IT student who dropped out of Ohio State University. Keller had a history of online harassment, his digital trail littered with banned accounts across gaming platforms. A search of Keller's apartment uncovered a chilling shrine. Photos of Ethan and the Syndicate, scraped from social media and public forums, pinned to a corkboard alongside Destiny screenshots. There were notes detailing Ethan's routines, times he left for school, places he hung out. The Ghost replica had been purchased online, shipped to a P.O. box, and hand-delivered to Ethan's doorstep. Keller had used public Wi-Fi to create his burner accounts, masking his location, but his obsession had made him careless. He'd been at the Morse Road GameStop the night of the Fallout 4 release, watching Ethan from across the parking lot. Keller was arrested in March 2016, charged with stalking and harassment. The trial was brief. He pleaded guilty, claiming he'd only wanted to be part of the team. He was sentenced to 3 years in prison and ordered to undergo psychological evaluation. The Syndicate attended the sentencing, their relief tempered by the knowledge that Keller's obsession had nearly destroyed them. Ethan never played Destiny again. The Nebula Syndicate drifted apart, their bond fractured by the trauma. Mia threw herself into her studies, Lucas moved to Seattle to pursue game development, and Priya deleted her gaming profiles, focusing on her astronomy degree. Ethan, now 28, works as a graphic designer in Chicago, his PS4 gathering dust in a closet. He avoids online gaming, the once vibrant worlds now tainted by the memory of Shade Cipher's voice in his headset. Nathan Keller was released in 2019, his whereabouts unknown. Ethan checks his locks every night, a habit he can't shake. Sometimes, late at night, he hears the faint ping of a Discord notification in his dreams, and for a moment, he's back in 2015, a guardian staring into the void, unaware of the eye staring back.